To do this project, it's first important to understand what a negative shape is. Now, what is on this piece of paper? If you said there's a heart on this piece of paper, you're incorrect. There's no heart on this piece of paper. There's a negative shape heart on this piece of paper where I cut another heart out of it. So we've got a negative shape and a positive shaped heart. Negative shape, positive shape. Negative shape, positive shape. Negative shape, positive shape. Negative shape, positive shape. In this project, we're going to use the concept of negative shape to make a symmetrical design. When something is symmetrical, you can put a line straight down the middle, and if you folded it, one side would match up exactly with the other side. If something isn't symmetrical, we call it asymmetrical. We are going to make symmetrical designs today. First, I'm going to start with 2 pieces of paper. Pick any colors you want. Now, the first piece of paper I'm going to fold in half. Match up the corners. It is pretty important in this project that you get it exact. Make a crease down the side. Once I get a good crease in it and have it pretty much exactly in half, I'm going to use my scissors and cut down that line so I have a half a piece of paper. Take your time with this. You're only going to need half of one of the pieces of paper. Now we're going to take the other piece of paper and fold it in half also. Match up the corners and get that crease as close to exactly in the middle of the piece of paper as you can. And then we're going to unfold it. Now when I place my half sheet on one of the halves of the other sheet, I get a symmetrical design. It's symmetrical by color, but not by shape. They're both rectangles. Now I'm going to take the smaller piece of paper and I'm going to start cutting a shape out of it. It can be anything you want. Just kind of let your mind go. But remember, we're going to use the whole piece of paper, so we don't want any random little scraps falling out. So be careful about that. I'm going to keep cutting, and I'm going to cut until my scissors come out on the same side as I started. Now I'm going to place my piece of paper back on my orange paper on one side, and I'm going to put it in like it was symmetrical before. And now I'm going to take that piece of paper I cut out and I'm going to flip it to make it symmetrical again. It will be symmetrical in shape, but not in color. The orange shapes will be the same as the blue shapes. After that, I'm going to glue down the piece that I cut my shape out of. Now, I'm going to take the piece of paper, the shape that I cut out, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cut another shape out of it, doing whatever I'd like, make an interesting shape, but my scissors are going to come out of the shape on the same side that I started again. So I'm going to put these 2 pieces of paper down like they were before, so it's symmetrical, just like it was before, and then I'm going to flip so it is symmetrical again. The orange shapes and the blue shapes are the same. This orange shape and this blue shape. Now I'm going to glue down the shape that I cut my shape from, again, on the other side. There we go. Make sure it's down nice. Now I'm going to take this shape and continue doing the same thing. I'm going to cut another shape out. I'm going to make sure that I have every little piece of my paper in the side the same shape. I don't want any extra scraps, and I'm going to cut another shape out. I'm going to place it down, make it symmetrical, and then flip so it's symmetrical again. Now I'm going to glue the piece of paper that I cut my shape out of again. And I'm just going to repeat this process over and over. We're going to continue doing this. And each time you do this, each time you cut a shape out, we're going to flip and make our positive shapes the same as our negative shapes. We're going to keep doing this until you get tinier and tinier shapes. So just keep doing this. Positive shapes in blue, negative shapes in orange. They'll all match up, so it'll be symmetrical in shape, but not in color. I'm doing it till I get this really, really tiny shape in the middle. It can be a little bit confusing, but if you stick with it, I think you'll be happy with the results.